So hey everybody, welcome back to Bow and Arrow Garage. I know it's been a very long time since I made a video, but basically life just got in the way. But the good thing is we're back on the car, we're back in the swing of things, and today I'm really excited about what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be working on the C3 Corvette that's behind me, and I'm sorry if the sound sounds a little muffled. I'm closed up in the garage, it's a little bit cold outside, and so I wanted to be here in the warmth of the garage. But I'm going to turn the camera around, I want to show you what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be putting new control arms, upper and lower, in the front of the car with some coilovers. I've got the control arms here. The coilovers are on back order. Hopefully they should be here within about a week, but I've got a lot of prep work that I've got to do before then. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let me show you what we got, and then we'll get into working on the car. Okay, so here are the upper and lower control arms. I purchased these from a company called Coilover. They look like a very well-made piece. The welds look very strong, nice strong tubes. And so I think this is gonna be a fantastic upgrade for the car. And I purchased the extended lower control arms. Basically, if you wanna lower the car more than 2 inches, it gives you additional travel so the shock doesn't bottom out. So anyways, I'm really excited about it. It looks like Global West makes a really good product. And so we're gonna get ready. We can set up to pull the old ones out, and then we'll get these things installed. Hopefully within about a week or so, I'll get the coilovers and I can finish this thing up. I'm going to go ahead and get this cold spring compressor in. See, it's kind of a tight little fit. Yeah, it's going to take me a few minutes to figure out how to get this thing in there, if it works. I could, if I could take this bolt completely out, I could slide this up in here and get the 2 hooks in. Fortunately, the threads on this are really boogered up here at the end. But I rented this tool from O'Reilly's, and so I'm gonna see what I can do here real quick. See if I can figure out, maybe I can get the thread out and clean up those threads. That way I can slide it up in there and get the bolt started. Okay, I got the spring compressor in. It was a pain in the butt. Basically what I ended up having to do is, I think I mentioned earlier that center bolt had to come all the way out, and then I had to fish it up in through and slide one of the hooks through the coil springs all the way out, and then basically force the other one over center so it would pop up. And then I was able to screw the hooks up this coil spring, get them hooked up, and then put the bolt in. But the fork was a little difficult to get in also, just because there's not a lot of room in this area. And so I just had to tap it in with a hammer. I think I'm good now. I'm gonna go ahead and get my tie rod end links off, and then get the jack under here and we'll get this thing off. So I wanted to give a better idea of how the spring compressor works. So if you look at it, you've got the fork down here, and if you can see, the coil right here is sitting in between two saddles. I don't know if I can get a good, there you go, right there. And obviously you have the upper hooks. They're unequal length because obviously one's going to be higher than the other. And same thing over here on this side. You have these sets of saddles. You have this one. Obviously it's on the inboard one. But anyways, that's the setup of the spring compressor. It is part number 67050. I rented it at O'Reilly's. So anyways, but just be extremely careful because there's a lot of potential energy here that could really injure you if you're not careful. So anyways, I'm gonna get set up, get everything cleaned up, end up getting the knuckle the rest of the way off. All right, and there she is in all her glory. All right, that's gonna be it for this side for now. I'm letting the bolts for the A-arms soak in PV Blaster. I'm gonna go ahead and get the other side up to this point, and then we'll get back over here and we'll record what we're doing. Okay, I got the steering knuckles out, I got the springs and the shocks out. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the upper and lower control arms. And after I get the control arms out, I've got to do a repair to the front cross member. And I'll get up under the car here in a minute and show you. These pretty much most C2s and C3s that I've ever seen. In fact, I think all the ones I've ever seen have had the front cross member crushed in. And the reason being is people use it as a jacking point. They put their lift jack under it. And anyways, it gets crushed in. The material is not thick enough to support the weight of the car. So several companies make this repair tool. Basically, this goes inside the frame pocket. You have to have the springs removed to do this. And so this is the perfect opportunity to do it. And then this goes on the outside. It's got a bolt that goes through it, screws into here, and it'll actually pull the frame out. But I not only bought that tool, but I also bought this repair plate to go over the thing to prevent this from ever happening again. This was purchased off of a guy or a website called Vet Stuff on eBay. I think this is pretty much mostly all he sells, and he has excellent reviews. People really like the product, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get these control arms off, and my goal is to get them off today, and then get that repair done, and get the plate mounted on, and then I'm going to call it a day. But I still got quite a bit of work ahead of me, so I'm going to get in here and get it done. Let me see if I can get into the car and get you a shot of the cross member. It's actually pretty bad, so. I don't know how well it's going to come out on video, but this has a huge dip right here, and so try to get a contour of it. There we go. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get these control arms off, and then I'll get in there and do that repair, and then we'll get it cleaned up a little bit, painted, and we'll put the repair plate on it. Okay, so I had to end up getting an air hammer to try to get this bolt out. Thankfully, I do have new bolts in the kit. I had to look through the top kit, and it didn't have any hardware in it. But when I looked at the lower one, it did. So thankfully, I have all the hardware. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing the rest of the way out, and then we'll jump over to the jump up to the upper one, and we'll get it out. Okay, there's the right hand upper and the right hand lower control arms. Like I said, the left hand upper is going to be a little more difficult to get off, so I'm going to take a quick look at it, but I'm going to do that off camera once again. I'm going to go in and take a little break, get my battery charged up, and then we'll go from there. So it feels like the tool is probably gonna have to be trimmed a little bit, maybe, or something, because it's not going in. Try to pull these gloves off. So as you can see, the tool is extremely beefy, and it's just not going in right now. See if you can see the dents that are in the crossmember. So anyways, that's what I'm trying to fix. I'm gonna see what I can do with the tool. As far as getting it in, it's not cooperating right now, but we'll see what we can do. Okay guys, it's a few days later and I'm working on this crossmember fix. I've got the tool up in here as far as the plate that straightens it out. I'm gonna be honest with you, the plate did not. So first of all, the plate did not fit very well at all. There are instructions in the that come with the plate that say that it might need to be trimmed because every crossmember is different. Well, I agree with that to a point, and I understand this thing was crushed pretty bad. So, but honestly, it needed a lot of trimming just to fit in here. So I got it trimmed out, and then this hole didn't match at all. So I would assume that those holes were drilled with a jig. So honestly, that shouldn't have changed a whole lot, but whatever the case may be, it just did not fit at all. And so you can still see that the hole is offset. This is where the original hole was, and I've had to open the hole up to bring it, to get the bolt to go in. So honestly, what I'm thinking about doing right now is I'm gonna go ahead and finish doing the repair and straightening this as best as I can. And then this tool, I think it's gonna become a permanent part of the vehicle. I think I'm gonna leave it in there. And on the repair plate, I'm going to drill that center hole out to accept the bolt. And so it's going to be attached here, 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 and here. But then I think I'm going to put the center bolt in also. And there's the center hole I'm talking about. Obviously that hole is pretty small, so I'm going to have to open it up. But the other thing is it doesn't line up very well either. So So if I end up doing that, then it's going to be offset from that hole. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do it or not, but anyways, my first order of business is to get this repair done. I'm going to go ahead and do it, and I think I'll try to get a little bit of the footage on camera just so you can see the process. But at the end of the day, I'll just end up showing the final progress on it. So this is how the tool is set up once you're ready to pull. So basically these legs are rounded here so they fit on the outside of the cross member. The tool on the inside mimics the original shape of the cross member, and so you just crank down on this bolt and it'll begin to pull it out. They did give you some shims to help kind of bring it back a little bit over past where it was. That way when it shrinks back it'll be about right. I don't have any of those shims in place right now. I had such a difficult time just getting the tool in. I don't even know if I'll be able to get them in, but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and crank down on this and try to straighten this thing out. So at the end of the day, the repair tool did not really work too well. I mean, it pulls the dents out when you have pressure on it. I've tried the shims. I've been working on this thing all day. I had to open this hole up huge just to get the tool to line up. And so the tool is now going to become a part of the repair. I actually have the repair plate and I drilled a hole through it. I'm going to leave the tool inside the cross member bolted with this center bolt, and I went and bought a shorter bolt. And I spent a lot of money on the tool. It was 125 bucks, I think it was. And so like I said, when it's installed and you have pressure on it, it does pull some of the dent out and it does look better. It's just not what I wanted to see. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get it installed, and we're going to call it the end of the repair. It is what it is on that. So I don't think there's going to be any way to really repair it any better without cutting out the metal and welding in new metal. And I just don't think that's necessary. It did straighten it out quite a bit. So anyways, there's just the oil canning left. So this is what it is, and we're going to get the parts installed. So I wanted to show that I got the repair plate installed. So this is the repair plate. Obviously the bolts that are holding it in. Got 2 on the front, 2 on the back. But this center bolt is the one that I talked about. I was going to modify the plate. I went ahead and drilled a 5/8 inch hole through the center of the plate, and then I installed the bolt through the repair tool that, like I said, is now a permanent part of the cross member. So anyways, I finally got everything completely removed. I got the cross member fix done. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. The next video, I'm going to try to go ahead and get everything cleaned up, get everything primed and painted. I'm going to get the control arms installed, the upper and the lowers. That way, when the coilovers come in, I can go ahead and install the coilovers and then get this thing back down on the ground. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, please like, share, subscribe. Make sure you ring that notification bell so you never miss another video. And hey, have a great night.